Happy Wednesday. It's time for another Facebook Live. So I'm giving you a minute to get on while you're finding me. I'm going to share this with my group. Just getting this ready. All right, one moment. Always takes it a minute. Hang on, I'm just trying to get back to where I was. Okay. Hope you all are having a good week so far. I don't know why my laptop is always slow when I'm trying to do this, getting ready. All right, we are going, yes. There, no, it's still not showing up on my laptop. Hey, Betty. I'm just trying to get this shared over to the group. There it is. We are playing with pansies tonight. But I decided to do a different color combination than I had posted. Almost there. Okay. Now it is over on my group too, shared with there, just in case. So this was the card that I posted today. And I made this at Kay's retreat. And it's using the new Fresh Freesia. And I think I used some Highland Heather. And then this is the two new greens. We have the Soft Succulent and the Evening Evergreen. And then this is some of the Designer Series paper. So this was the card I made earlier. And then I just colored some of our Baker's Twine with the Evening Evergreen. I think I've used the blend on this just so it would match. But I wanted to do a different color tonight. Before we get started, though, I just want to remind you of a couple of specials going on. If you would like to save money on your craft supplies, you can join Stampin' Up. You can join my team. And right now, for the month of May, they have a special bonus going on. So the starter kit, which is what you get when you first join, is always a great deal. You get $125 worth of product for $99. And no shipping. You don't have to pay shipping for your starter kit. And then after that, you get 20% off everything you order. Right now, for the month of May, they have a special going on, and you get $155 worth of product for $99 free shipping. And you still get the 20% off everything you buy after that. So if you're interested in doing that, you do not have to do classes or videos or anything like I do. You can just be what we call a happy shopper and save money on your craft supplies. And then the other special that's going on, they're calling it Connect, Craft, and Collect. So if you have an order that is $250 or more, then you get an extra $25 in rewards. So anytime you have an order that's $150 or more, or if you gather some friends and together you make an order of that much, or have a party, then you get what we call host rewards or Stampin' rewards. And up until $300, it's 10%. So for a $250 party, normally you would get $25 in free product. One goes through June 14th. Once you get to $250, you get an extra $25. So for a $250 order, you would get $50 in free merchandise instead of $25. So that's a great deal. And that one's going through June 14th. So if you're interested in taking advantage of that, let me know. Okay, I just didn't want you to miss out on either of those. So let's get stamping. This is the card we're going to make, and it's a little fun fold. So I've done some of the die cutting just so the video wouldn't be too long, but I am going to stamp a little bit. Getting my pieces over here. And I'm going to get this is a photopolymer set, so I like to use my Stampin' Pierce mat. Just makes a better impression. So I've got a piece of pale papaya, And I am taking, let me show you what we're using tonight first. Sorry. So this is the Pansy Patch stamp set. It's got a ton of stamps in it. So you can make all the pansies you want, leaves, you can stamp them all. I don't think I have any of those over, but I'll be posting some more on Facebook. And if you haven't seen it, the way they're doing photopolymer now is they put the image of the stamps on this paper underneath, and then you just stick your stamps right to the case. Now it comes still with the plastic, with all the stamps in between the plastic, but there's nothing printed on the plastic. I put a piece in between this because it had so many stamps. When I closed it, it was sticking a little bit to each other. And so I just took one of the pieces of plastic and put that in the middle there. And so that's the stamp set. And then the dies, which is what we're mostly using tonight. I'll stamp a little bit, but mostly we're using the dies. So this is the die set. And so you can die cut out the pansies and the leaves that you stamped, or you can build pansies and leaves with just the die cuts. So we're doing mostly using the die cuts to build them, although I am going to use that one to die cut the base piece for my pansy. And the paper is just beautiful. So let me show you that. Try not to lose all my pieces over here, because I have lots of little pieces that I've die cut. So let me just pull this out so you can see. There is gorgeous pansy paper, and I actually used these pansies to create mine. I kind of modeled them after that one, but gorgeous paper. So one side is got pansies and the other side is more of a geometric. Some of these I've used lots of already. So there's some leaves, and I'm not sure if those will die cut from the with the dies or not. And then some gingham. There's some really pretty gingham in this. There's just some light, pretty pansy colors. Some more gingham. This is the fresh freesia. Now this suite is the only suite, that one I already showed you, I believe that uses all of the new in colors. So this one, you can die cut these pansies, and they're already made for you. So if you want a quick and easy card, just die cut some pansies, and there you go. And the back, we're using the back of this. I hate to cut into this paper, but you just have to sometimes. And then there's this one with all these beautiful pansies on it. And then the back side is a real nice stripe. And let's see what else. Here's another one. I think this is the last one, looks like. Yeah. So some more pansies with some other kind of flowers. I'm not sure what those are. And some little bees on there, and then another gingham. I love all the gingham. All right. Let me get this mess out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And we will get busy. All right. So I have just a piece of pale papaya, and I'm going to stamp the more detailed. So grab this so you can see. When you're stamping these, you have one that's more of a fill-in, and then one that's more detailed. Hi, Lanita. So I'm taking this more detailed one, and I'm just going to stamp it in pale papaya on pale papaya. And it doesn't matter if I do it straight or not, because we're going to die cut it. So see, it's just kind of a little, kind of an outline. While I have my stamps out, I'm going to get, so this, it's a little bit of a fun fold, but it's a super easy one. So you score it in the middle like you always do. Use my bone folder just to make it stay folded. And then I've scored it in the middle again. And as always, I will put the dimensions on my blog when I'm done here, but I'm going to fold that one back this way. So now you just have this fun. I mean, it's super simple and easy. But what I want to do is stamp in this corner right here, because that corner is going to peek out. So I decided I didn't want to build a whole nother little pansy with dies. So I am using the small pansy. So I'm going to stamp, this is the most solid piece in Pale Papaya. And these are the colors I used of cardstock when I built my pansy. So I'm using the same colors to stamp this one. So this is Calypso Coral. And it's the kind of more detailed, like you saw that I stamped before. So let's see if I can do this when I'm not right over it. That's always a challenge. Hey, that turned out pretty good. So that's Calypso Coral. And actually, while I have Calypso Coral, no, it's not that one. I used the Poppy Parade. So the very inside little piece is Poppy Parade. And that's just going to go right in there. And then while I have the Poppy Parade out, I'm going to take the Happy Birthday and just stamp it here towards the left. So that way it'll get covered up by the fold. And you have a little room to write there. You could also write here if you wanted to. Okay. That is all of our stamping. I just thought it was fun to have another little pansy peeking out. All right, I'm going to set that aside. We're going to do just a little bit of die cutting. Like I said, I already did most of it. But the nice thing about these dies is you can use your mini. So I have my little mini die cutting machine, stamp and cut and emboss machine. That's hard to say. And so I'm just using the outline die. I'm just going to lay that on here and line it. Well, let's take one of the plates off first. Oops. And just kind of line that up like that. Try not to let it move when you place that down. Oops. There we go. And then just run that through. Isn't that cute? And now you have this perfectly cut out pansy. All right. Let me set this aside. We need that still. Let me put my die away so I don't lose it. Because I would hate to lose any of these dies. Okay, set that aside. Move this out of the way. See, it's so little it can even sit on the side there. Okay, we are ready to build our card now. So let me bring over all my other little pieces. And there's our card base. So I have cut out 2 of the bigger leaves, and you can see that they're also embossed in there too. And then I cut out 2 of the overlays. So this is soft succulent, this is evening evergreen. So 2 big ones, 1 small one. A little piece that needs to come out. Same thing. I've cut out this piece that's going to go down here. So I'm building the pansy. This piece, let me bring in that piece of paper. I had a piece set aside. Well, I'll just get another piece if I can pick it up. Here it is. So you can see these are the ones that I was copying. So it's got this the darker petals down here. And then they had white Although on mine, that seemed so stark to me, I sponged it just a little bit. So I think I'll do that again. And then this is the Puppy Parade. And then there's one die that cuts out 3 little centers. So the little pansies have, you know, some of them have yellow centers, some of them have black centers. These ones look like they were just the light, like the pale papaya. So that's what I did. So let's start putting all this together. But before I do that, let's sponge our white. It just felt like it made it not quite such a stark contrast. Set those aside before I lose them. So I'm just going to take the pale papaya. I don't want to sponge my vellum. And I've just got one of my sponges. And I'm just going to go over it a little bit, just to cut down on some of that stark white. So you can see I'm starting off of the pansy a little bit. There we go. So again, a bit more right there, just to make it not such a stark white. Just a little bit of color. All right, so let's put all this together. I'm going to use liquid glue. And so I'm going to, and I could have done, and probably should have, used the adhesive sheets for this. That would have made it easy to put together. But of course you have to remember to do that before you start cutting things out. So I'm just putting little dots of the liquid glue. And you'll see that this kind of gives. So when you put it on here, and this is another reason it's nice to use the liquid glue, you can make it fit so that it goes around the outside. And then I'm going to put that piece on here. So I'm just going to put some kind of in the middle. Just kind of lay that over there. And then this, whatever this piece is, just going to go in the middle here. And then I'm going to get my tweezers, because this is such a teeny tiny piece. Put just a little bit of glue. Whoop, that's plenty. Here, we'll put a little bit of that on the back of this. If you get too much, you can kind of dab it off on something else, but not the front of it. All right. All right, we'll set that aside, and we'll work on our leaves. Again, just little dots. You don't want too much. And again, with this liquid glue, that gives you some time to adjust it, because these will fit right up against each other. So there's one. A little bit more up here. Again, you can kind of move it so that they're lined up. Well, come on. There we go. And remember, everybody that comments on this video before next Wednesday will be in the drawing to win this card. And I actually remembered to draw for last week's before I got on tonight, so I can tell you at the end who won last week's. Last week we were playing with, oops, that's too much, with hand-pinned petals. Oops. Your fingers will get sticky doing this, but that's okay. I wouldn't be stamping if your fingers didn't get messy. Okay. We'll need that again in a minute, but not quite yet. I don't get any of those. All right, and I've got a piece of that designer series paper. On the back are these gorgeous pansies that you can die cut, but we're not using those tonight. I do need to play with those, make some cards with them. So I'm using my Stampin' Seal. And we'll just put this here on this flap. And then when I'm putting a flower like that, that's not too bad, but sometimes it's kind of busy to put something like this right on your designer series paper. So I like to just put a vellum circle behind it, and that just gives it a little separation. But in this case, I'm going to use dimensionals. But I'm just going to put 2 right in the middle of the pansy because I want to tuck those leaves in underneath of it. So I'm going to put this right in the middle of my vellum circle. Now I'm going to get my glue dots, and I'm going to take the leaves and just put a glue dot on the end of it. Whoops. And I'll tuck one big one in here. One big one on this side. And then the small one too on that side. Like that. And now that I've done all that, I can see where it's okay to put adhesive. And so this is going to sit like this. So I only want to put adhesive on this side. And I'm going to go ahead and use my liquid glue again. So I'm going to put it on the leaves and then just on this side of the flower. And then just stick that on there. Hold it for a minute. You hear my cat in the background? I'm not sure. Oh, he thinks he wants to go outside, I think. I don't know. And then I've made a little bow. This is with the Pale Papaya sheer, I forget what it's called. It's a gorgeous ribbon. So I'm just going to take another glue dot and just put that right here at the bottom of my pansy. And there you go. There's our pansy cards. So again, everyone that comments on this video by next Wednesday will be in the drawing to win this card. And I will post dimensions right after I get off of this video. All right, so last week we were playing with hand-pinned petals. And I had made this card ahead of time, and we made this card on the video. And so I said, thanks, Betty, that whoever won, could choose which color they wanted. And the winner is Nancy. And she said last week that she liked the fresh freesia. So I will be sending this card to Nancy in the mail. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this pansy class or this pansy video. And stay tuned. I'll show you some more cards I've made with this lovely set. All right. Good night. I'll see you next week.